So after finishing Kaiju number 8, episode 11, I truly feel like this show has accomplished something that no show has accomplished since Attack on Titan for me. Now, it's very common knowledge if you follow the channel that Attack on Titan is my favorite story. I love the manga, love the anime, I just love it in general. The way this show, Kaiju number 8, has sparked me, definitely right away, I was like, damn, that gave me some Attack on Titan feel, something I haven't quite felt. But the thing about this show is that every step of the way, while it's always felt like it's been this weird blend of like Ultraman meets like Attack on Titan meets its own Godzilla-like story, at the end of the day, every step of the way a character like Eren Yeager or other protagonists would handle it, Kafka did things differently. And I think what's actually made this episode so remarkable is that because if you've seen big shows like Attack on Titan, or shows with protagonists that would normally respond in a different way, every step of the way with Kafka, you're kind of left baffled because it's not going the direction you thought. And at the end of the day, most shows are not going to feel truly original. There's going to feel like, at the very least, there's influences, because nothing can be original. There's too much stuff out there anymore that there's always going to be a comparison made. And even if the author or the creator of whatever it is in question wasn't directly like, I read this manga or I played this video game and that was my inspiration, the thing is he clearly, or she clearly, dealt with something that was an inspiration that was influenced by that other thing that maybe you were comparing to. There's always a chain of events happening here. And what I love is that the thing that I remember seeing so many people bitch about, why doesn't Kafka just transform? Why does he only use his human blah blah blah? The reason he and this can work out, that collectively the whole division supports him despite knowing he's a kaiju, is because every step of the way, all they saw was a human protecting them, standing up for them, and doing these things. Had Kafka just transformed the first time he needed to, and instead, rising his percentages by his own sheer will, then he wouldn't have been unanimously accepted as a person, not a kaiju, despite knowing there's a core inside him. And seeing the moment where he transformed, seeing him lose control inside as the kaiju parasites taking over. The reason this is so extraordinary is because not only do you get the same type of thrill as something like some of the early transformations in an Attack on Titan, you have all the Godzilla level elements and Ultraman level elements, and just like, it's doing something I just haven't seen since my favorite show wrapped up. And I am so excited for where season 2 would go, because knowing that this is a show that while everyone above the division that he's with will want him dead or keep a close eye on him, though granted, our girl's dad here might actually be the one person who allows for everything to continue, we can clearly tell this isn't going to go in the predictable way that you are expecting. But of course, I have full live reactions to all these Kaiju number 8 episodes over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and get thoughts to any of these episodes, it's over there exclusively. So, this is spicy, but it's spicy in a way you're probably not expecting. Now, I'm totally expecting Vice Captain Hoshino's going to walk in, start kicking his ass. I thought he was going to be like Levi, just kick his ass, say, hey, if he gets out of hand, I'll kill him. And I'd believe him. Instead, they can't really do much. The biggest shocker was that collectively the whole group doesn't actually hate him. They are probably concerned, a little cautious. But, after last week's episode of so many people saying, why did they draw guns on him? Boy, I don't know. A person transformed into a kaiju in front of you and you're wondering why they pulled guns on him. But he saved them. Cool. He's still a monster. All I'm learning after seeing some of the comments from last week about why they should have just hugged him right away and said, hey bro, it's great that you can transform, is that the first contact with aliens coming to our world or a zombie apocalypse, those people are going to be the first ones dead. That's all I'm saying. But after things have cooled down, emotions have calmed down, and cameras are off, we can actually see how people collectively feel. The salute. Why are you saluting a kaiju? Not saluting a kaiju. I'm saluting my captain. Great save. Loved it. The fact that Mina is talking and doing, like, she wants to help him and still views him as a person. The thing is there's a chain of command. Is the whole collective division gonna kill themselves to save Kafka? No, that would be idiotic. The world would just be in a worse state. It's better if it has to go down for him to die only, because then at least the division's still there. People aren't gonna collectively give their life here, right? There might be a couple of people who might be willing to throw down their life for him, saying, you know, if you kill him, you'll have to kill me. But in general, it's more of, we hope things work out. And the idea of, rather than it being the captain or vice captain, but seemingly anyway, if things keep going the way they are, but this dude who feels like he could be a One Piece captain, he literally has rocket gloves of death that are built from Kaiju number 2, like Godzilla's great-grandfather or something. Things wild, and the animation popped the hell off, and honestly, just like the way they would flip, and just so many cool things. When he finally fully transformed after getting beat the hell up, was insane to witness. And the idea of, like, rather than it just simply being like, okay, he's fully in control, which is kind of what's happened up to this point, he seemingly has lost the driver's seat, and the kind of kaiju parasite inside him is now taking over, and it feels like, you know, he's already kind of looked like Venom from Spider-Man half the time. Now it feels like the symbiote is kind of like fighting for control. It's just like, it's so cool, it's so different. It gives you that kind of Attack on Titan feel, but it still feels completely Kaiju number 8. And that's what I feel like is great about this show, is that while I can see so many influences to so many different things I love, whether it is Godzilla kind of monster-style films, or Super Sentais, or Attack on Titans, even though those feel like influences, it feels completely like its own thing. And this is what's great, because you can have authors who might not even, like, care. Like, here's the thing about this, right? You could have made this and had never watched a single Godzilla movie at all. And the author could come up and say, I actually didn't take influence by Godzilla. I took influence from so-and-so's other story. But that story took influence by Godzilla, and that's what I love, is that you can still make your own thing without it feeling like a copycat, and this is just so brilliant. The production remained hella strong, and I really think they're going out with a bang, and honestly, a Season 2, Core 2, whatever they're going to call it, is going to be so much different than you ever thought possible, because they allowed Kafka to not feel like a copy of other shonen protagonists from before, but allowed him to actually be his own individual. This was a fantastic episode. Did not go the way I expected. The biggest shocker for me, and something I did not see coming, was that collectively the entire division supported him. I figured if anyone was going to switch tunes, it would be the captain and vice captain. The vice captain was a little more up in the air because he seemed like he wanted to kill her boy after last episode, but the whole group, because they've had a collective core to see who he is, and he never got into fights with anyone too. He was like the big teddy bear uncle of the group, so like collectively they're like, even if this is scary, they want to support him, but then how would the public react when they could now think anyone could be a kaiju before them? There's a lot of political ramifications for keeping him alive, and it's gonna get spicy. Let me know what you thought down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we got Nano Dog, Hikari Oni, J-Mons 9173, Durhosh, Franklin Greenway, Hikari Lounge, and Flutch Bringer. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.